it's wild. It's wild. It makes me feel like, or ask the question, are we going to be living a simulation within a simulation within a simulation? Is that what our lives and our worlds are going to become?
Welcome to King Moves. In chess, the king moves one step at a time, but that single move can change everything. Each week, we explore mindset shifts and simple actions that could lead to the next breakthrough in your business and life. I'm your co-host, Ethan King, from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, and best-selling author of Wealth Beyond Money.
And I'm your co-host, Justin King, no relation to Ethan, from Cape Town, South Africa. Entrepreneur, speaker, and business growth strategist. Our journey crosses continents and cultures as we think out loud, challenge assumptions, and uncover the small moves that create big momentum. Welcome to King Moves. Let's start the conversation.
Okay, so I just showed Justin the video about Google's Genie 3 project, which is revolutionary, mind-blowing technology that is on the horizon. It's in research mode. But before we jump into it about what it is, since Justin just watched it, I want to hear his raw thoughts on Genie 3.
So it's wild. It's wild. It makes me feel like, or ask the question, are we going to be living a simulation within a simulation within a simulation? Is that what our lives and our worlds are going to become? Does this mean we're going to start living in more virtual worlds than interacting and getting out to go and experience the thing in the real world? Or are we going to start really experiencing the world through a digital interface rather than going to experience the mountain by being on the mountain, as an example? Is that where we're going? And then of course I was trying to think of applications for it, like personal applications. And I love Masogi, and I speak about Masogi, and I love to coach Masogi. And my immediate thought was, man, imagine working with clients and we take them through the experience of completing their Masogi, almost like, can we get them feeling that as a starting point? They can experience what it would be like to climb the mountain, run the marathon, do the thing, and we can get that raw body emotional feeling and get them amped about it, and then go and execute on it in the real world as well. So a ton of thoughts, but it is just wild seeing where this is going. The idea that everything that I was seeing there was being built in real time. So it's like walking around in a video game, and if I look to the left, things appear, but it's appearing and being designed in that moment, not before. This isn't a pre-built world or interface. It's based on the prompt that I have put in. It's wild, Ethan. It's wild.
All right. So, and just so everyone knows, our listeners, Genie 3, look it up. It's a project by Google, Genie, and then the number 3. And what it is you type an AI prompt. So anyone can do it, just a text-based prompt, and you can create an entire virtual world from just that prompt. And this is an endless virtual world that keeps creating itself as you go, as you move and look in different areas. And it has memory. So there's an example in the video where a guy inside of his virtual world, he's painting a wall. So from first person perspective, you see him rolling paint on the wall. And then he goes away, walks around the world, and comes back, and all of the paint is still on the wall in the exact position where he left it. So it has that level of memory. So this is, I think this is absolutely groundbreaking. It's not available to the public yet, but it's coming really soon. And the reason why is because it does trigger the thought, like, if everyone will be able to create these infinite virtual worlds that look and feel really real, how do we know we're not already in one of these simulations? Because this is the beta version, this is, what's the quality of this going to be like in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years?
Yeah. And I think that's the crazy thing for me is that, and for everyone, go and watch the video, but it's pretty photorealistic. Like, it's real. It looks like a real environment. It's not like a pixelated Mario Brothers kind of prompt kind of world that you're walking around in. If you prompted, like, I want to be walking through the Amazon rainforest, you'll be walking through the Amazon rainforest. It's insane. It's
It's
insane.
insane. Yeah, it's not Roblox graphics. It's real
Yeah,
quality. And then as I'm sure we'll start to get more detail, more sensory experiences
yeah,
as this technology gets
yeah,
better. And I like at the end of the video how they show the
yeah,
practical use cases.
yeah,
You can use it for training videos, like how to operate a crane or a forklift. So real world business applications through AI and virtual reality. But I feel like virtual reality, that term isn't even enough to encapsulate what this is. It's constantly, well, I don't even know the word, virtual reality that's constantly being created
yeah.
through everyone's imagination. So, and it's being democratized, which is, it's crazy.
What will be interesting to see is, and I didn't get it from the video, is what are the interactions with people? So with artificial beings, artificial intelligence within this virtual world that's being created, can you interact with people? Can you have a full-on conversation with somebody in this world? What does that look like? And
Yeah.
how does that work?
Well, you remember that part of the video? And this is cool because you can insert things into your world on the
Yeah,
go, on the fly. So in the video example, this guy's walking through a world that kind of looks like Venice, Italy, and then
yeah,
he prompts this human, like this big chicken, runs into the scene because he prompted it real time, and then a dragon comes out of the sky because he prompted it real time. So that, if you want to get even deeper, that makes me think about manifestation and how we
yeah.
in our lives, we bring things into our lives that we visualize. So it's almost like in our real life or what we perceive as reality, when we set intention on something and we manifest it, it's almost like we prompt it. And it may not show up instantly like it does in Genie 3, but whatever you set your mind to, I believe shows up at some point in
Mm,
your life,
yeah.
good or
And when I
bad.
was speaking about, yeah, totally. I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, it's really true. And it gives you that. The reason I like it is because it allows you to feel the feeling of what it would be like for that thing to manifest and to
Mhm.
appear and be in your life. When I was
Yeah.
speaking about interaction, I was wondering if you can have a conversation though. So it can start, particularly if you can, if you've got a whole lot of information about somebody else, you can kind of preempt and prompt what that interaction could look like, and you can practice. Oh man, I've got to have a tough conversation with Ethan about X, Y, and Z. Let me go into this virtual world and run
Yeah.
through this scenario by scenario. And what could this look like?
Yeah.
So many applications.
Yeah. I
Hopefully, they don't
actually
get abused.
actually teach that concept of practicing an interaction with someone. And you do that in ChatGPT. You can do that now. So what I have a prompt that
Yeah,
I teach where you go and research someone, you have ChatGPT do deep research, and you create like this long dossier. It'll give you like a 20-page PDF about Justin King. And then I can create a custom GPT of you and then simulate a conversation with you in voice mode on ChatGPT. But yeah, it would be cool to see how that evolves into Genie 3, and we
yeah,
can put a simulated version of someone in there in real life and interact with that person. You can have all these created characters, and man, that's wild. And then at some point, it will become like a multiplayer game where you can invite other real people into a world that you created. I think that part is inevitable somewhere down the line.
I suppose the pessimist in me is always right. It's amazing to prep us for the real. Who knows what the real world is anymore? But it's an amazing tool to prep us for the real world. But as it evolves, are we not going to need the real world anymore? Like I like to think that I'm always going to need the real world. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's a very safe world to be in if you can create and have all your friends in there. Everyone's always lovely. It's always sunny and what's a good temperature in Fahrenheit? 60 degrees, 70 degrees. Uh, and that's the world that you live in. And that's what it's going to become. And we just stay safe in our bedroom.
Well, the only flaw with that theory, because I think about that too, is if you stay in the virtual world, your physical body that's in the real world is going to start to deteriorate because you have to
Well,
move. We have to move. We have to eat. We have to do things to sustain our bodies. But who's to say that sometimes when you have a dream, it seems like a really really long dream, but then you wake up and you've only been asleep for 5 minutes.
yeah,
So who knows? Who's to say that at some point we might be able to experience a lifetime in one of these simulations, what seems like a lifetime, but we were only in the game for 5 minutes.
totally. And Here's another question. Do you think somebody could live a better quality of life in that simulated world? Let's taking away the fact that you need to exercise and eat and all of that. We can solve that with whatever. You've got electrodes connected to you and you've got a drip. Okay.
In the
So
Matrix
we're saying
pod.
it's possible. Can somebody live a better quality of life than they might live in the real world?
I mean, one would think that if you're capable of imagining a better life for yourself, whatever you perceive to be a better life for yourself, if you're capable of imagining it and verbalizing it or typing it as to what you imagine, then yes, you could create that life, that virtual life. So now, should you, or should you try to? I mean, you know, I
Yeah,
don't know. Now we get into all types of things. It's almost like
totally.
if someone's paraplegic or you know they can't move.
Yeah.
I watched the movie about Christopher Reeves, Superman. I watched that on the
Hmm.
plane, and you know I was a big Superman fan when I was a kid. I loved that movie. And it was so sad what happened to him. He got paralyzed, and he admit he had all these suicidal thoughts. He could only like move his eyes. So from someone to go from being super active and in great shape like he was to not being able to move. Well, what if he could create a world in his mind where he had that freedom of movement again? Is that not a good thing, you know? So I think that these types of things will be possible, especially when we're already looking at the reality of today where we have Neuralink. And there are lots of videos out there where paraplegics are getting the brain implant, the Neuralink,
Yeah.
and they're able to control a computer screen only with their brain. So
Yeah.
you have these brain computer interfaces that are evolving at a rapid pace. And now they're getting to the point where they don't even have to be invasive. They're getting really small. So yeah, if you can create another world that's better than the world that you're living in, who's to say that that's not a good option as long as you can sustain your physical body?
Do you think, and I'm going left field now, do you think that, and I don't know a lot about the Amish community, so please forgive me, but do you think that we might see more communities almost like that forming because people want to remove themselves from the advancement of technology and where it's going?
Yeah, I could definitely see there being a strong resistance
Yeah.
to virtual worlds. And then you have, I
Yeah.
guess, the purists or the realists who are like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
touching that stuff. Well, it's funny. I already kind of see this divide happening with AI now, with LLMs. And from my experience, what's actually fascinating about it is that it seems to be the younger generation that is a little bit more resistant to it than people say. I teach a lot of entrepreneur groups that are easing up, like so 40 to 60. They really embrace AI and are hungry and want to learn more about it. Whereas people in their 20s, I notice, are kind of more dismissive of it. And
Mm.
even some are resistant to it because they feel like it takes away from humanity. They're concerned about the impacts on the environment, and there's a bit of a disdain for it. So I could definitely see that happening, that type of divide happening more and more as you're talking about people creating and living in virtual worlds.
So much is still, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. That is for sure.
Yeah.
But the pace at which it is evolving, that is not slowing down. That is clear and obvious.
100%. So if I had to leave somebody with a king move, I know we went down a deep rabbit hole here and went from technology to philosophy and all kinds of stuff and questioning our existence. But check out Genie 3. Go look it up so you know what's coming on the horizon for yourself, because I believe that those of us who are empowered with knowledge of what is coming in the future, you can better prepare for it and make the changes you need to make today. So go watch it, see what's coming, draw your own conclusions, and make the necessary changes in your life, in your business, to adapt quickly to the world that's coming. That's a wrap for today's episode of King Moves. Remember, in chess, like in business, one right move can change everything. Take today's action step, make your move, and build momentum.
If you found value in today's episode, share it with someone who's ready for their next breakthrough, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our weekly conversations. Until next time.